Good evening, traders. Good evening. Welcome to our last stretch here for today. Before we get started, remember the information we discuss in this video is opinion and should not be construed as advice in any way. A warm welcome to everyone. It's our last round for the evening, and I must say it's really good to be with everybody. Our last trading room for the day. We have been following 4 specific instruments, and we want to try and see what's happening with them. Remember, we have the FOMC coming out later on this week, and we want to try and make some sense of that. We know the interest rates, there's a 56% chance there of some movement from the Feds, and we want to try and understand. So we're really looking at some of these assets now. Some of them have moved, like the NAS. So we're going to get into it now. All right, let's just give the guys another minute there just to log on and see who else is here. All right, I'll just give the guys a little bit of time there. It's not a problem at all. Tanya, I see you. Good evening. Good evening. Brett, I see you there. Petunia, I see you there as well. Good evening. And did you see the NAS there, Brett? Tanya, did you see it? All right, let's go. Let's go. Some of the guys will probably join in. All right, stream is healthy. Let's get on with it. All right, so guys, we've been tracking from this morning. We've been tracking the NAS. We've been tracking the Euro USD. We've been tracking the gold price. We've been tracking some of the oil. And we have, been waiting for some movement there. So let's maybe start off with the NAS 100 there. Now, for the guys that might be joining a little bit later on, the white block here is the short-term movement that we're looking at. And the minute structures. And the gray area is the hourly structures, because we're not trading any weeklies or monthlies. We're trading the shorter time frames. All right. And when I zoom out, you can see it specifically here. This is the minute frames, and then this is the hourly frames here. All right. So what we had said was we are waiting for price to show us some movement to the upside or to the downside. Now, I've gotten into a trade here. As mentioned to you guys, at our 3 o'clock session, when I ended off, I mentioned this is the criteria I'll be looking at. And I have some fundamentals here that actually supports my narrative. Okay, just so you do know. Brett, I see there. So the NAS, but focus on gold in the last red candle that broke the line. Descent, but I have a big divergence on 15-minute kick in, so caught me offside. Okay, we're going to have a look at that now. What actually happened, it looks like gold actually came down. It pulled back. So we're going to see it, in a second. So let's start with NAS. All right, so I got into NAS and I came in. I actually missed this candle here, this nice one here. See, majority of the candle down of the body is below. That's what I was looking for. I actually didn't get in there. Can you see that? Because majority of the candle there was below the 29, even though it broke above. Majority of it was below, and that little peak is at the top. That was not substantial for me. This is the candle that got me. So that is a much smaller one. Look at that. And then a much larger body that is sticking out, and I got in at that next one. So I'm currently in NAS. I'm only looking to take it up, up until the ceiling of this white block. That's it. Tomorrow, I'll be looking at this in the morning to see where it's at. I will be putting some stop losses in place as well, and it's going to be a tight one. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be scalping, that is the type of risk that you will be taking. All right. So if you trade it till there, you can make 240 or US dollars on this one if you use a 10 mini lots. This is a much smaller lot size because we are heading into the night, and so things can happen overnight. Price can definitely do something insane. So I'm waiting to see what happens at the ceiling over there. Now, what's supporting this over here, guys, this specific move here, we saw that US stock markets, namely the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones, all gained today. It was the tech industry that actually led the move. All right, so you can see now there, I'm in a bit of profits. Chip makers like Nvidia, which I chatted to you guys about, Micron, and SanDisk rose as demand for the AI technology actually showed fantastic growth, which I'd mentioned to you earlier on. All right, I mentioned to you that the companies like Nvidia, or at least AI, and obviously everything that goes with it, for AI to function, it needs chips. So that has come into the forefront. Then the driver is the AI demand. All right, so investors are still buying a lot of AI related companies, although some believe the sector may be getting expensive after its strong rally. So just make sure that you are with me over there after its strong rally. So we may see that having a bit of a slack, and we're not sure exactly how that's going to work yet. I'm dealing with a day at a time. All right, so I'll give information as we do go along, but I want to make sure that the traders understand that your duty is not to try and digest or process a huge influx of information all the time. You don't want to overwhelm your system. All right, so I'm being very simple, and we have the NAS 100, and hopefully we start to gain a little bit more whilst we're in the session over here. Remember, I told you the Fed is in focus. Traders are obviously waiting for the Federal Reserve meeting on Wednesday. They're looking for a lot of clues on when interest rates could be cut. I told you there's a 56% chance of that rate cut in September. Because, the U.S. economy itself, the recent jobs data showed, obviously, that labor market I mentioned to you. There's a bit of a cooling there. And this supports the idea that the Fed may be able to lower those interest rates this year. Now, I'm already in the NASDAQ. I'm leaving it. We're going to see how this one turns out now. I'm in profits at the moment. I am in profits at the moment on NASDAQ. And I'm going to go now to the gold price, because we also said we wanted to check it out. Now, you can see that the gold price, it had a fantastic move there. Look at that, 15 minutes. And the reason why I'm a little bit skeptical about this one is because immediately price went in again. All right, Brett, which you are not wrong for. All right, Keenan, I see you there. Good evening. You're not wrong there. All right, Brett. Price immediately went in on the next candle, and what we're looking for is, at least if it breaks down like this, because that's a beautiful candle to the downside. But then look at how it actually comes back in and superimposes itself on this. If we can get a 15-minute that's out, all right, and then the next candle as well to also stay out, that becomes a fantastic thing for us. At this point in time, this area is just showing us so much divergence here. Do you see that? This area is showing us so much divergence here, and that. Got you, Brett. No, listen, I respect you. I respect the hell out of you. I'll say it that way to place some emphasis on the fact that you could acknowledge that there was a little bit of hastiness there. Many traders won't see it that way. All right, but we're waiting for a fantastic signal like this, a candle like this, and then we need another one just to at least close beneath it. I think that would be a wonderful addition. Right now, I'm staying put. I do know that we saw a little bit of a gold there. All right, it pulled back because of the US dollar strength. The losses were limited because obviously weaker economic data still supports expectations for the future rate cuts. There's a lot of analysts that believe gold could gain or could continue trending a little bit higher there later this year if the Fed starts easing their policy. Remember, if there are interest rate hikes, the dollar strengthens. That means traders are moving their money into the US dollar. Investors are moving it into the dollar. There's a higher yield there, all right, if they're hiking that rate. So gold then will fall down, all right, because they're moving their money out of an appreciating asset like gold. And if the rates get cut, the opposite. So there's a 56% of that cut happening in September. So that means that gold then should then, according to the analysts, start rising. So before the rise, what we're looking for is for some elements of possibly downside short term. Right now, at this moment in time, all right, that is the fundamentals tonight. That's what came out with the US. That's the breaking news there. So there's nothing right now, but I do know that if I don't catch this one tonight, I'll be waiting for tomorrow. Remember, what we are not doing, we are not chasing the price. We are waiting for price to go to the areas that we would like it to. So right now, as gold stands, all right, I'm already in NAS. I'm in profits on NASDAQ. The gold price, this is a correction happening. So I'm not going to chase the correction. If I miss my entry tonight, I will wait for tomorrow, and I will, well, the moment I wake up, I will come and look at this area here, and I will look at how far it's either come down or how far it's gone up. If it breaks this high tomorrow morning in the opening trading room at 9:30, I'll be looking for some pullbacks. All right, I'll be looking for some pullbacks. And I'll be studying the pullback structure very carefully tomorrow morning with you guys so you can see. All right, if it pushes to the downside, I'll be studying a possible support area so I can get in and actually go a little bit higher. All right, so that's what I'm going to be dealing with the gold price. I'm not going to chase anything. One of the things I always tell the guys is you don't need to chase anything. All right, there's no need to do that. You just have to have a plan. You have to have a way of working it out, and then you take it from there. The NASDAQ is already giving me something here. Now, I always make it relatable, all right? By now, all the guys that have been with me in the classes and there for some time will know that I do not give far-fetched fantasy information, all right? What's important for us to understand here, guys, is that if you can make every day, if you can generate a loaf or the worth of a loaf of bread every day on the charts consistently, if you can make 25 Rand, if you can make 30 Rand a day, and I'm bringing it down to the minimum, all right, if you can consistently train your eye to see the setups that generate just the value of a loaf of bread every day, you are already consistent. Because the rest you are trying to do now, you're just trying to scale it, because that's what trading is. Trading is a scaling game, all right? It's scaling. You can use a 0.01, and once you have your eye that's been trained, you just increase your volumes. Yes, excuse me. That elusive, yes, exactly, Brett. Now, I must give the other side of that, because remember, even although you can generate more money from higher lot sizes, I must place emphasis and say your risk will also go up. Your risk will definitely go up, but that is how life works, isn't it? So it doesn't matter only in trading. Whatever you're going to do, there will be a price for the risk. And that's something that one needs to consider, all right? So gold, I'm not going to be touching it if it doesn't give me anything. So by the time I go to bed, and guys, let me say this, please rest, all right? Please rest, get some sleep. There's definitely no need to, be up all hours of the evening. I know how it gets when you trying to push and, make this thing work. Yes, but are we together? There's no need to be doing any of that. All right. Particle, because you. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And there's no need to do that, right? So there's no need to not get sleep. Get your sleep. Fortunately for us, we know that during the Asian session, markets are pretty thin, depending on what currency you're trading. Obviously, if the East is awake, the New Zealand, the Australia, the Japanese yen, they can move and so forth. But there are other indices, example like the US, it will be pretty thin in terms of the liquidity, and there may not be so much movement. All right. But at this point in time, let us focus on what we can. So gold, I'm leaving it for now. I'll get back to that. All right. Euro USD. Euro USD. We are above the area, but not inside the striking zone yet. Look how far we are from the striking zone. Look at that. Above the 1.14339. That is what I'm looking for. All right. Keenan, yes, it's daily, my friend. It's daily. Mondays to Fridays. We have actually today, we have just introduced the next, or at least a reset to the academy. It's every day, my friend. That's 4 times a day, 9:30. That's the first one in the morning. We're catching the London session there. Then we do midday. Obviously, the Tokyo ends and the London still continuing. And then we go to 3 o'clock, 1500 hours. We look at the US Open and then this one that you're attending now. All right. So there's 4 a day, Monday to Friday. And that is so that we can walk the journey with our guys, with our students here. Obviously, we have new guys that will join us. That's maybe not a student yet. Guys, you can always visit our website there, www.tdmarkets.com. You can open that account with us, become part of the family. Okay, but Keenan, I hope that was enough for now. All right. So the Euro USD here, it's really not within striking zone. Look at that. It's not within the striking zone. We have 1, we have 2. I told you I want to get in at 2. Once I get 2, I want to ride this guy up here. All right, to 1.14720. I'm not touching this. All right, I can see the movement here. And guys, once again, there's the candle language I spoke to you about. There's literally, it's not even a quarter, guys. It's less than a quarter is stuck below, and we have majority of the candle above. Look at that. And look what happened after that. And Brett, this goes back to what I said earlier on. Do you see that? That price, it created another candle there, and then look, it's now pushing up. So that is a very important moment here. If I go to this area here, there's also quite a bit of candles, candle body below. But this is the important thing. The next candle didn't close above. The next candle closed beneath. Do you see that, Brett? That's going to help you there. Okay. You're welcome there, Keenan. Not a problem, my friend. So the second candle closed beneath. That was the game changer. Look at that. What? That was the game changer. If this one closed above, price could have possibly gone up again. So this is really, really something. This is really good information. And just so you guys know, this is the info that I'll be pushing through on a daily basis until you get it. Because this is not strategy. This is market structure and price behavior. All right. If we can speak the same language in terms of market structure and price behavior or price action, you become more consistent in how you analyze. Okay. So that's a very, very important point there. So Euro USD, I'm not doing anything there. I'm leaving it until it crosses over 1, and I'm going to be looking for 2. I'm choosing 2. It's a little bit more conservative. All right. This is a little bit more of a risky trade for me because that high is the problem for me. That high is the problem. It is a previous area of rejection. All right. Where price came till there and went down. So I wanted to break that area first, and I'll feel a little bit more comfortable in my plan here. So I'll wait for 2, and I'm not going to do 1, but I'm very aware there's some traders that are willing to take that risk. And I say to you, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Then obviously we have the oil price. I said to you guys that we must be very careful of the oil. You can see, guys, that oil is really trading at that 72. You can see we came down. Even today, we were as low as 71.10. We saw that, yesterday we were at the same levels. Remember, each 4-hour chart has 6 candles. So this 1601 here, we still have to gather a 8 o'clock one. So it starts at midnight. Let me just explain to you guys so that you know for the future if you're using a 4-hour. So today is the 6th. Let's look for last week, which was the 3rd. All right, let's look for the 3rd. So there's midnight on the 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, that was last week Friday. This entire structure started there, and that was last week's structure. So today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more to make up for the 6th, and you can clearly see that today has not moved past Friday. Look at that. It is not moved past Friday. So if you're taking any trade right now here, you are taking a trade in consolidation. It has not broken out of that area. I hope that is clear to all you guys there. You've not taken a trade that has moved away from consolidation. All right? You've not. So be very, very careful with that. Be very careful, all right? I'm going to say it one more time. This was Fridays. This is today. And we know that Saturday was it was the 4th of July on Saturday. So on Friday it was pretty thin in terms of the marks. Yeah, it's the 3rd. It was pretty thin. And that's why the NFP was on the 3rd, on last week Thursday, not Friday. All right, so you can see it was very thin there. Really no proper trading happening. All right. Clear. All right, Brett, there we go. Thank you very much. So guys, look at this. So the NAS, bit of a pullback now here. My stop loss should be somewhere in this area over here. All right. I'm not going to take any chances in terms of leaving this one without a safety net. The reason for that is because if you look at the overall movement here, we know that the NAS is also in a correction. So there's a lot of sellers in here. We are taking a risk by buying. And guys, remember, the dominant trend is flowing. So if you're going to buy, let's say it's flowing down now into the correction, that's where the current is. I'll say it again. This is where the current is now. The current is flowing down. It's gone up, and the current has started to flow down. So what we're doing is we are attempting via risk to flow against the current. That's risk. That's what happens. All right. Now you can take a safety position, meaning a stop loss, that if the flow at this area here decides to flow back down again, remember, it's flowing down. Hold on. Here it's flowing down, right? Let's do this. And then temporarily starts flowing up, creates a lot of data here that says, listen, there might be some extra flow to the upside, all right, which is against the flow down. So if we're going to be taking that flow there, we can't expect it to flow all the way up. That's why we only trading till there. Now, if price at this point says, nope, look here, the flow to the downside is way too strong. It simply means that this flow is going to continue down. So we'll have to then change our direction and start coming down instead of up. So it is a risk at this moment in time that we are taking. Now, is there support from the fundamentals? Is there support from the sector there that says that the indices are gaining a little bit? Yes, there is fundamental support. There is. But it does not mean it's enough to convince investors or traders to continue going to the upside, guys. All right. It is a risk at the end of the day. All right. And then obviously, what I want to add here right now, I would like to add the AUD USD here. It was holding quite well. So I just want to add the AUD USD because this is something that we'll be checking tomorrow morning. So as you can see, I'm putting together a lot of possibilities in terms of what we look at for tomorrow. So I'm going to be adding this now to the list, okay? So whilst those ones are moving, you can see this one has some fantastic movement to the upside. Let's try and make some sense of this now. So my 15-minute is critical. Now, remember what I'm looking for is I'm looking between this low and either this high or that high. We're going to have to wait and see now. So let me place my areas. Let me use this one here and let me use this one over here. So I'm trying to find a straight move of momentum on a higher time frame, straight down. I don't want it to break. These are all breaks in the momentum. When I say break, I mean price, the stops going down like that, and it starts waving out. All right, so I'm going to go up and watch. Still nothing. Still nothing. There's still nothing here. Look at that. So you can see that we may need to move this one there now. So on the minute frames, there's absolutely no solid momentum, all right, that is to the down. That's all on the hourlies. We've already gone into the hourlies. Look at that. The 3 hour is most probably going to be the answer here. Let's try 6 hour. Look at that. 6 hour. Look at that. So the 6 hour is actually the answer. From there to there, straight momentum to the downside. If I go 4 hour, there's a break. If I go 3 hour, there's a break. So what I want to do now is before we move, I want to find structure here. All right. So if I go to a 15-minute, the only one I can choose is this one. There and there. This low to that high. That is the only one. I can't use this. I can't use that low there because there's a break in the momentum. I can use this one because there's no break. So that high, this low, and this price is in between. Now watch carefully now. Watch what I do here. I'm going to go back to the 6 hour and I'm going to connect that one now. This is why I'm really interested in the AUD USD because that structure is telling us we could possibly now go higher. All right, let's check on that NAS quickly again. Okay, it's still correcting. The gold is still there. Euro USD is still pushing up. And then we have the AUD USD. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to look for some divergence here. All right, I want to look for some divergence over here. And I'm going to use an interesting tool here that I got hold of. Let's see if I can just get it here. I hope I can get it. I'm going to use an interesting tool here, which gives us quite a bit of a picture. Yeah, that's the one. Ooh, beautiful. Look at this. Look at the divergence here. Look at the divergence here, guys. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so I'm putting my 55 there now. And I'm looking for continuation candle now. I'm looking for continuation candle, 59. There we go. This is the one. This is the candle right here. That's the candle right there. Let me show you. That's the candle. That's the candle, okay? So I'll be looking, I'll probably set my alarm because AUD runs. There's a lot of divergence here. Look at this. It's actually a stunning chart. So I'll be waiting for a push to the upside. All right, we've seen the divergence on the top here, and we've had a dip. We've had a dip, and we actually are now waiting for this. If I can get, even if it's a 15-minute, beautiful candle bread. Remember, I want that strong candle to the upside. All right, then I will then go for my buy there. All right, guys, stream is still healthy here. Hope you guys are having some fantastic fun. You're getting some insight here. So we're gonna wait for AUD USD. So guys, I've got 5 now I'm looking for. So far, I'm in one position. Out of 5. It's Monday. I've not taken any position in gold yet. Euro USD, I've not taken one. The oil price, I also have not taken a position in the oil price. All right. The oil price is not looking, I mean, that's just consolidation right now. All right. And then I have AUD USD waiting for this guy as well. Now we know that the Australian economy has been through a couple of blows as well, but not to the point where they are at a place where it can weaken substantially against the dollar. That rate in September is a very, very interesting one here. We may just get the Aussie moving between 69 and 70, or at least 69 to 70 cents US for one Aussie. All right. And again, guys, I'm not trading dailies or weeklies here or monthlies. All right. I want you to see this. Look at this. That's the monthly chart. Now look at that entire movement. There is no ways I'm trading this. It's not relatable. It's not realistic today. So if I go down to the weekly, look at that small little block there. Look at the daily. Small little block. That's all I'm looking to trade. I'm not looking to trade it all the way till here. All right. Even although 69 and 72 is not far away, but look at the pip distance. This is for a swing trader now. This is for a swing trade, all right? Now, will I speak about swinging? Yes, I will. Absolutely, I will. But today, we are dealing with a little bit more shorter term here now, all right? So we're trading, trying to get into a 15-minute or 1-hour time frame here. And the amount of pips that we are looking to get here, all right, is roughly about 136. We can half that down here as well to about 73. So we're going to be seeing if that works, all right. Upon as which of the RS, yes, let me show you the Aussie. It was a 6-hour, all right, my friend. It was a 6-hour candle. You can see it right there. That's the sucker. That's the entry candle, if I can put it like that. That's the entry candle. So once price pushes above that candle, all right, that is where I'm looking for some action. I'm looking for some movement. And there's a lot of divergence happening here, guys. A lot of divergence. All right. So once again, guys, the great thing about what is happening here is that you now have with me, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instruments that we are tracking. It's just Monday. We can add to this. We can add to this tomorrow. We can add to this on Wednesday. It doesn't matter. All right. But the benefit is you'll be watching how it plays out this week. If the NAS plays out for us tonight and it pushes up around 8 o'clock, around 9 o'clock, it's going to be phenomenal. I don't know. Is there any World Cup soccer, guys, tonight? I actually don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Brazil out, guys? Brazil's out of the World Cup, right? Is Brazil out of the World Cup? Not so sure. Oh, yeah, no, we won, man. It's crazy. Guys, guys, that's insane. Think about it. Yeah, guys, it is insane. So you see, guys, there is place for the underdog. There is place for the one that may not have had consistency before. There is place for a trader that is looking to generate some revenue stream here. There's hope, man. I see that trend, Portugal versus Spain. Ooh, transfer, my friend. I know that Pito, my brother, he's rooting for Messi. I don't know if there's any Messi fans here, but me and T, we had a fantastic time dissecting a bit of that. I really hope Portugal, at this point in time, guys, I think I want to go with Portugal. So run this journey with me here. I'm going to say Viva Portugal for this World Cup. Hopefully CR7 can bring it home before he retires. Messi already has his World Cup, man. Give the other guy a chance. Let's see, but I'm saying Viva Portugal. And then we are going to see by tomorrow, we're going to have the results. Transfer. CR7 tells me, I don't know if you offend them, my friend, let me know. But tomorrow, 9:30, we'll be talking and saying what is happening. All right. But guys, look at this. Maybe one more loop around, just some commentary here before we push. This is our first day in. We are literally generating a brand new way of journeying with our guys. So let's start it off. NASDAQ, Ash is in on the NAS. And I'm waiting to see what happens. And I'm only trading this white block. I'm not interested in the gray for now, because if you're trying to trade all the way to the upside, you are going against the current. All right. I'm not trying to trade it up till there, because the current right now is down. So we're only trying to take a piece out of that before it starts going down. That's it. That's what we're doing. The gold price, nothing here as yet. Now, the gold price is different, because the gold price is at this point, there's a flow that's to the upside, but there's been a temporal current shift. And if it goes to the downside and we miss it, we can wait for it tomorrow. But this one we'll be wanting to trade it a little bit up here. Okay, this one we might do go up a little bit here. So I'll be checking this one out with you guys tomorrow morning at 9:30. So you better be here. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. All right. Then we got Euro USD. I think you guys are now well versed in this one. Ash is looking for number 2, the second strike zone, not the first strike zone. I'm looking for the second one here. Remember, it is World Cup, so we're looking for strike zones. We're looking for strike zones. Viva CR7, Viva. So strike zone number 2 to take it up to 1.14. It's about 30 pips there for us up for grabs. We'll see how it goes. All right. UK, or at least crude oil. Guys, nothing here. I know Shira and myself, we said we had some bad blood with this guy. So we're going to wait. You can see what oil does here. But if it breaks out of this area here, the minute frames, we could take it to 79. That's the move I'll be waiting for. I'm not going to touch this now. I'm going to wait for price to push so I can hit the 79 zone. And then AUD USD looking absolutely gorgeous at this point. We're following a 2-hour, 3-hour divergence pattern. We have our candle in focus there. That's on the 6-hour, and even the 6-hour has the divergence. We can see it. So we'll be lifting the sucker up into space if it does push up nicely and gives us a nice rounded candle. Brett, you know I'm speaking and directing it to you, my friend, because you have the spirit that's very teachable. So we're waiting for a nice strong candle to break above and show us, its power and its momentum. And then we'll be looking to enter. Remember, guys, 9:30, I'm back again to push hard with us all. All right, we have to push. We have to generate a revenue stream. And obviously, guys, what's important is that we will not only be doing analysis like this. I'll be sharing other things as well with you. fundamentals. I'll be sharing some political loops, some economic loops that helps us understand the market a little bit better, from correlation to looking at which moves together, and when it breaks a specific area, how can you capitalize on that? So there's more to this than just drawing a trend line and looking for divergence, and we'll be dealing with all of that. All right, looking at history, we're looking at how money has evolved, because at the end of the day, guys, you're looking for a community where you don't only look at this, but you actually become competent. All right, you become competent. Yeah, look, I'm seeing your question there on BTC. What I'll do with that one, I'll do a nice rundown during the day of BTC. All right, Sammy, and I'll be chatting a little bit about what has happened, and not only with BTC, but I'll throw in Ethereum there. I'll definitely make sure that we get a bit of an understanding of that, and then we'll look at some of those charts as well. All right, but just to give you a taste, at least, let's just look at the BTC chart. I know we've come down tremendously, and we're going to go back and see what's happened. Remember, guys, we have our TDME exchange, and you can trade derivatives exclusively with us at the TD Markets Exchange. I'll be sharing some of that as well with you. All right, that's the point of us having these rooms. It's for us to understand, not only to trade, but what your broker as TD Markets offers you. All right, so BTC right now, all right, from a daily perspective, there's a lot of divergence happening here. So a lot of buyers are coming in. It's actually a fantastic place. What I will do is I'm going to break this down for you tomorrow. What I'm trying to find here is my lines, and here it is. I found it. I actually found it now. I'm trying to find my structures there. Let me just make this gray. Let me make this gray so you guys can see what's happening. Okay. Oh no, there it is. Sorry, guys. There it is. Ooh. And I'll be explaining. BTC is like, or at least crypto is like a roller coaster. A lot of divergence here. All right, so there's a lot of divergence here, and I'll be detailing this down a little bit here. All right, with you. So we're looking at this area. So just to give you a bit of a taste there. All right, Sammy. We'll be pushing in this direction over here. All right, I want to give you a nice rundown. We'll look at some Ethereum as well. But remember, BTC and XAU, there are moments where there's great connection and correlation, and when you start seeing the price of the others go up, because remember, investors are always looking for growth. So if the dollar weakens and money is going into gold, it's they'll find riskier assets to also put their money, BTC being one of them, and that's why you see a bit of this happening here now. So I'll look for a entry candle here in the structure, and this is something to hold. Remember, BTC, you can hold it, guys. All right, and I'll share the TDME exchange platform with you as well. You can open an account. You only trade crypto on there. You're MT5 with us. You can trade indices, crypto, and so forth. But on our TDME exchange, we even have a merchant option there where you can send crypto. You can pay bills or at least invoices in a crypto as well. We have the ZARK coin there that you can definitely use from us at TD Market. And throughout the day tomorrow, we'll definitely have some more information on that. We have been doing it, and we have been really pushing. I mean, just in May we were at the FMAS. We had a crypto summit there where we chatted, and we had so many people down in Cape Town chatting about crypto and the validity thereof. And you guys know we've been having it for some time now. We are actually one of, if not the first brokers here that has been pushing really, really well with crypto fairly great in terms of the market share, and we are pushing for gold. All right, so BTC is where it is now. I'll detail this down. I'll find an entry candle, and this becomes a beautiful holding position over here. All right. Let's go back to the NAS. Correction is there now. I'll be watching this one whilst we're doing Portugal and Spain. Watching CR7. I'm seeing Keenan there. Divergence. So Keenan, divergence is when the price moves in a different direction compared to strength. So here you have the RSI, which is a strength or a strength indicator, and this will help you see where the momentum actually is in terms of the strength. Now, what happens with divergence is that the indicator window would push up, but the price or the main chart will push down. And for the guys that don't know about divergence, I will go into that with some more info. If you look at, let me actually do it like this. Do you see this here? Let me do this. Look at this area over here. All right, here you have price finding support. All right, now this area here and this area here don't look the same. This area is that area. Are we together? Here you have price coming down, but here it's diverting to horizontally to the side. So this is divergence over here. Here you see price going up, but here you see price going a little bit lower. So this is diverting up, down, and this is diverting up. I'll say it again. This is diverting up. This is diverting down. Now, this is the important one to look at. This tells you where the strength is. All right. This is where the actual strength is, and that's how guys miss corrections, because they don't look at divergence, which is a very important one there for you to look at. Okay. Obviously, it's a trading room, guys. It's not so much teaching, but we will have our sessions, topic discussions that should be coming in the next couple of days. We'll obviously send you guys updates, and we'll be dealing with topics like this. All right, Keenan, so you can definitely join in there. I just wanted to at least just give a overview or something over there for now. But moving into the next couple of days, when we do have our topic discussions, that's where we will break certain things down. All right, it's more mentorship, it's more refining. This is more of a trading room over here. All right, but one more loop around, guys. NASDAQ, correction is happening. Gold, nothing as yet. We're waiting to see. Euro USD, you can see that we are on the way to strike zone 1. The oil, nothing here as yet. AUD USD looking absolutely stunning here. I'm waiting for 0.69 cents. All right, dollars for 1 Aussie, and then I'll deal with the BTC tomorrow. All right, but whilst the World Cup is running, let's hope I'm for Viva CR7. I think if he scores, we're going to get some NASDAQ moving up there. All right, but have a good evening, guys. Have a fantastic evening. Ash will see you at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Make sure you are here. We're going straight into the London session, and we'll be seeing what that sucker has for us. All right. Viva Portugal. Viva CR7. I try to say that as dry as possible. All right. I hope there's some smile there. Transfer, you with me there, my friend? Yes. All right, guys. Have a good one. It's been really cool. Thank you very much. Really a blessing. Really, really good to be with you guys as always. Yeah. All right. Ciao now. Bye-bye.